Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Rick Reads Comics. We're continuing through House of X and Powers of 10. We have gone through all these. There's 6 issues of each. We've gone through all of them. We're at the very last issue of each one. So today, let's see where we're at. In this collection, it has them organized as chapters also. So we'll see exactly what chapter we're on. Last time we did chapter 10 for the children. That was Powers of 10, number 5. So let's see where we need to pick up. Almost there. And if you're behind on these, you haven't been following, you can go back on my playlist and check out the other past ones. They're all in order from the issues House of X and Powers of 10. And then when you watch the beginning, it'll show what chapter it's on so you can kind of see the order. All right, so on the thumbnail, you saw the full color of this cover. It has Storm up there, and it looks like the White Queen. And this is chapter 11, House of X. So let's jump in. The Quiet Council of Krakoa. This is our first information block. Autumn, Professor X, Magneto, and Apocalypse. Winter is Mr. Sinister, Exodus, and Mystique. Spring is the Black King, Sebastian Shaw, the White Queen, Emma Frost, and the Red Queen, which her name has been redacted. Summer is Storm, Jean Grey, and Nightcrawler. And Krakoa is Cypher and Krakoa. And then over here you can see kind of their council seats. And it has the Great Captains. While the Quiet Council is the recognized ruling authority on Krakoa, when there is a state-related excursion or in times of conflict or war, the Great Captains of Krakoa assume the responsibility of defending the state. In the field, a captain has total control. Among the captains, the captain commander is considered first among equals. And the captain commander is Cyclops, and the other captains are Gorgon, Bishop, and Magic. I don't actually know who Gorgon is, so I'm kind of interested to see who that is. So you have these. Some of them are shaded like Krakoa right there. And then number 9 is also shaded, and it's the Red Queen, but we don't know who that is yet. So we'll see, I guess. But we're almost at the end, so now we'll jump into the story. Krakoa, now. So they've assembled the council, and it looks like here they are. There's Mr. Sinister. Yeah. And I guess that's Exodus probably. But I don't know for sure. There's Nightcrawler and the White Queen. Or maybe Magic or somebody, I'm not sure. And there's Krakoa, the big tree. Welcome, and please. So they all step in. Be seated. Family. So that is the one section over here with Nightcrawler, Jean Grey, and Storm. So that is Summer. And then you have over here on this other side, Spring, which would be Sebastian Shaw and Emma Frost, and the Red Queen seat is empty. And he says friends. And then he says and allies. So these are the enemies. And you got Mr. Sinister, Exodus, and Mystique. And that is the Winter group. And of course, there in the beginning is the Autumn, which is Professor X, Magneto, and Apocalypse. It looks crazy to see them sitting next to each other because usually, Apocalypse is an enemy. Release the hounds, big guy. That's Cypher. So he's with Krakoa. So it appears our first bit of business is the oldest kind on this planet, Judgment. And there's Sabretooth. If you remember back in issue like 1 or 2, they captured Sabretooth and brought him to them. Maybe 3, I'm not sure. So he's been caught in like a big bubble, and they drop it. Somebody better start talking, or things are going to get read real quick. Like, what is this? This is the establishment of a nation, ours, and I would have it be one of laws. But not the old laws of man, the new ones of mutants, which is why we have called it this first meeting of the council. I cannot say that everyone here best represents the ideals of what any society should be based on, but, be that as it may, it falls on us to establish the laws of this land. Is he talking about me? If he is, I don't care. I won't be ignored. I have ideas. Nobody puts Sinister in the corner. Nobody. Speak to me again, and you do so at your own peril. Okay, just a suggestion, but mutant on mutant violence, killing a mutant against the law. Throw this man in mutant jail. How can it be a crime to kill someone who cannot be killed? How will any of you know that you are fit and worthy if you are not tested? You cannot be serious. Oh, I'm sure he is. But if we're arguing about the highest of ideals, if the goal is greatness and purpose, and if our undertaking is to have worth, then I think the opposite would be true. The highest crime would be killing someone who cannot come back. It would be a mutant killing a human. And then here's Mystique. And when they come for us, which they will, we aren't going to do everything we can to defend ourselves. That's the old argument of is it murder if it is done in defense of a nation and not what we are talking about? Will we have to deal with that at some point? Yes, of course. But this is not that. Jean is right. I also see no fault in it. Does anyone have an argument otherwise? Apocalypse? I won't belabor a point that means nothing to me, as man himself does. Anyone else? No? Then we can agree. It will be a law of Krakoa that no mutant may take a human life. Oh, I see how it is. You're going to make an example out of me. Well, that goes both ways, me. I'm going to cut you up into little pieces. Quiet. And she takes control of his mind. Little pieces and eat the quiet. There's Jean Grey, too. And he's drooling on himself. I have to say, it's the drool that really brings the whole outfit together. This is fun. What's next? Somebody shock me. Property rights, wealth, currency, a few of the things man clearly got right. I have quite a few ideas. Excuse me. Small point that needs to be made. Krakoa is alive, not a place or a biome, a person. Fauna, not flora. So I'd be careful how hard you want to lean into the whole property rights thing. Of course, Douglas, but the idea of home comes with possession baked in, doesn't it? Perhaps if you want to own a place, it has to be out there in the world. No one has said we have to run from it. And none of that touches any number of broader economic concerns, but we're not going to settle those today anyway. They have complications. Still, the board raises a good point. This place is an Eden to us, life giving, nurturing. It lives and through it, so do we. If there is mutant ground that is sacrosanct, this is it. There is honor to be had in lifting it up. Well said, Paris. Oh, this we can also agree. On this we can also agree, yes? Good. Then it's a good start. But if we think we are not going to accomplish economic or goal, excuse me. But before we are done, we have yet to hear from the righteous among us. Surely the mutant who has faith in one greater than you, Charles, has something foundational to share. Tell us, Kurt, where is your foolish providence in all this? Where is your God's wisdom? And if you don't know, Nightcrawler's a Christian in like most of the storytelling. Some of the theology gets mixed up, and some of it's crazy sometimes. But for the most part, the main things are solid, which is that Nightcrawler believes in God and he is a Christian. So here he goes. He says, "And God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it." It's obvious, isn't it, Raven? We need to make more mutants. Thank you, Kurt. I couldn't agree more. Is what we have perfect? No. What is? But it's a good start. It's a start, and a good one. As of today, from now until the end of time, these are the first laws of our nation. Make more mutants, murder no man, and respect this sacred land. All right. First, the second law, and the third law of mutantdom. So that's cool. That's awesome. That's kind of how they got together with the council and started this whole place once they actually got there. And in the past episodes, you kind of see how they bring all the mutants there through flashbacks and stuff. Okay, let's keep going and see where we're at. And with those laws decided, we must decide what to do with you, Mr. Creed, who has broken them. Do we believe that giving you one last chance benefits our new society? That's an awesome image, just the reflection of Sabretooth in Professor X's visor. Or are we better served by making an example of you, that no one is above mutant law? I gave you strict instructions when I sent you on your mission, and you did not listen. You made your bed, Creed. Let your sleeping let your sleeping in it serve a higher purpose. And then Apocalypse, of course, is agreed. That was Magneto talking. And Mr. Sinister says, "So long, pack light, safe travels to faraway lands." Exodus says, "Guilty." And Mystique, "Just get this over with." The Nightcrawler, "It shames me, but I agree." And then she says, "Yes. This is a sentence long past due. Dang, everybody's turning their back on Sabretooth. I don't know what's going to happen." "I don't care. Fine. Yes." "Oh, absolutely." "You think I'm just going to take this? I'm making a list, and now you're on it. Along with your kids, and then their kids. I will make your line extinct." "Are you listening to me? Douglas?" "Bad news. It looks like the leniency is out the window. I guess you know what to do." "What the?" And then there's Krakoa. "You have been found guilty, and so will be sentenced." And he starts cursing, "Let me go, let me." And then he's yelling, and he's getting drug in. So I think Krakoa is about to take him into the abyss. Yep. "The problem, however, with sentencing you for your crimes is that we cannot send you back into the world. And as we tolerate no prisoners here on Krakoa, that leaves us with very few choices. Especially since Capital Solutions would bring you into resurrection protocols. Instead, this will be your fate." And he screams as he falls, "No!" Stasis, deep inside Krakoa, alive but immobile, aware but unable to act on it. And for how long? Forever, Creed. For that is how long mutant justice lasts. Perhaps one day a time might come when you have an opportunity to redeem yourself, but that time is not now. And until it is, you are exiled. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, there's a council sitting there after all this. And then he looks back and says, "It's distasteful, I know, this business of running a nation. I pray that we never get used to it, that we never grow cold from it, that we never learn to love it. It's been said that when a parent has a child, they never get a good night's rest again." They walked out to a big party, everybody celebrating. "Well, I've had millions of children, and I haven't slept in decades. I may never sleep again. Now the same may be true of you, but they will." There's everybody excited and having fun. So they're making the sacrifice of running the nation while everybody can enjoy it. In soft fields of lush green, staring at the stars and dreaming of a future where they hold those stars in their hands, this is what we will give them: a home, a nation. And someday in the future, the world. I believe in what we are doing. I believe the world will be better for it. And there's Jean Grey walking up to the White Queen, giving her a drink. They sit next to each other. She looks over and sees Cyclops and Havoc, and that is reason enough to carry this burden. In fact, it's more than that. It's reason to celebrate it. And there's Apocalypse watching on. And there's Magneto and Charles. Just look at what we have made. Sweet, that's awesome. That's a good picture. All this has really good art. Krakoa, Atlantic. So now this is the location of Krakoa. We see two little areas here. There's numbers here, but I'm not sure if they're going to give us a key to that or if I missed it somewhere. There's Krakoa, real little, Atlantic, 53 square miles. Krakoa, total 316 square miles. And Krakoa, the world. Okay, here we go. So that was 20, 21, and 19. 20 is the point. 21 is Danger Island for training, right there. And 19 is Transit, the Atlantic Pacific. So this is a separate island over here in the Atlantic. And this is the one in Pacific. So they got 2 points. Then now if we want to go through these locations, this is another information block. But if we want to go through these locations, we got 19, the transit. So they jump right here from here and it takes them to this other island over here. And then 13 is Bar Sinister. It's Mr. Sinister's part. Number 8 is the Grove, right there. Number 5 is Academos Habitat. 11 and 10, the Wild Hunt and the Reservoir. 7 and 6 is the Oracle and Transit for the main. And then 1 and 9 is House of X and the Cradle. 3 and 4 is Arbor Magna Resurrection. So the resurrection part, I guess, and the arena. So right there in the middle. And then 12 is the Carousel. And 2 is House of M. And we got some more down here on the south of the island. 18 is unnamed. So it's like a little secret part, I guess. And then 16 and 17 is Blackstone. And then the White Palace. And 15 is the Red Keep right there. So this is kind of the Hellfire part. And then 14 is Hellfire Bay. Cool. So they all got a little place right there. It's pretty sweet. And that is the end of House of X. So, of course, this is not the end of like the whole series. I think everything branches off of this and goes forward. They have other series that come out that carry this story for the Krakoan age. But this is the 6 issues for House of X and 6 issues for Powers of 10 that started off. So we got one more episode and we're going to finish this collection. And eventually, maybe we'll jump and keep going further. But we're going to visit some other stuff. We're going to probably read Spider-Man, the originals like I did with Silver Surfer, kind of, the Marvel Masterworks. And then I have something for Halloween coming up, which is Batman not the Long Night. I can't remember what it's called. The Last Night, I think. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next time. We got one more of these, and then we're going to jump into some other stuff. But it's pretty exciting. I like it so far. If you want to stick around real quick, I'll just read these credits just because it's the last issue. So House of X, the writer, of course, is Jonathan Hickman. This is number 6. So the artist is Pepe Larraz. Color artist is Marty Gracia, and with David Curiel. And cover art was Pepe Larraz and Marty Gracia. The letters, VC's Clayton Cowles. Design is Tom Muller. Assistant editor is Annalise Bisa. And editor is Jordan D. White. You can freeze this if you want to read the rest of them for the collection. And of course, X-Men is created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And these all came out in 2019, so a little behind by a lot, actually. Okay, thanks, guys. We'll see you again next time.